Hey guys, so I just wanted to follow up with my video that I did when I found out I was pregnant. Like that whole story that I shared with you guys, like the experience I had with my doctor and everything. At the end of that video, I was like, oh, I'll put up more videos and like share like my symptoms with you guys and stuff like that. And I never like followed through or did it. And I've had a few people like hit me up or just like message me and say like, what happened? Like you said you were gonna do more videos. So yeah, I'm now 7 months pregnant and I was like, maybe it's time I follow up. I was just gonna talk about like my symptoms and like how my whole pregnancy has been and like just first like walk through like the first trimester, second trimester. I'm barely starting the third trimester, so hopefully I'll make a third trimester recap, but I'll just recap my first and second trimester. And I found out like 5 weeks, maybe 4 weeks that I was pregnant, but I didn't actually like go see a doctor until I was like 5 or 6 weeks, I think. That was like my first ultrasound. But like honestly, before I found out, I honestly just thought, and I said this in like my last video, I honestly just thought that I was coming on to like a really, really bad period. Like, you know, and you can just feel it coming on and you're like, holy shit, like this is gonna be a bad period because everything hurts so bad, like your boobs, your back, you get bloated, you get super emotional. But this time around, it was like, I wouldn't say like times 10, but like times like freaking, I don't know. It was worse though. Like my boobs were so sore, like the most sore they've ever been. Like I thought they used to get super sore when I got my period. Like no, like they were even more sore than ever. And I was having really bad cramps. So sorry if I'm like breathing a lot. I'm always out of breath. It's like a huge pregnancy symptom where you just feel like you're out of breath and you can't breathe. Well, you really can't. Like you're number one, you're breathing for two people. And then the baby's getting so big that he's like pressing on my diaphragm and like my, ignore my background here. My bathroom has the best lighting and I just kind of like set it up, whatever. But like, yeah, there's pressing against your diaphragm and like your ribs and it's hard to breathe. So sorry if that's annoying. But yeah, so I just thought I was having a really bad period and I don't know what I got on my shirt, but whatever. And yeah, so I found out I was pregnant and I was like, well, shit, now that makes sense, like why my symptoms were so bad. And then like once I was like positive pregnant, I like started to be more aware and like pay full more attention to like my body and like my symptoms and everything. And yeah, you're just more alert about your body then. So the main thing was breast tenderness. Like it was terrible for me. Like I would complain about it so much in the beginning. Like that was the worst thing for me in the first couple weeks. And even till this day, they hurt so bad. Like that's been like one of the worst pains for me. Like I don't know if it's worse for girls with like larger breasts, but it hurts so bad. And the fact that they're growing so much and that they're so heavy, like just laying on one side hurts, like when one is so heavy. So then you lay on the other side and then that one gets heavy. It's just, it's a whole like process of getting comfortable. And then another like symptom that I wanted to talk about was like morning. I know it's called morning sickness. We all know that's just a name. It's not in the morning. Like it's not just in the morning. I would just call it nausea. Yeah, my nausea was pretty bad. I got really lucky with throwing up. Like I really only threw up truly like one day and that was it. Like I had to call out of work that day. Or like I think I left early, but other than that, like I just was super nauseous the whole first part of the second trimester. It peaked like at like my 6 weeks, the nausea, or not, sorry, peaked. It started at the 6 weeks and then it peaked like at the 8 9, 10 weeks, like it was at its worst. Nausea, headaches, like migraines, like deep excruciating headaches, that like make your vision blurry. Like it was so bad. And then exhaustion, like I was more tired, like it's different kind of tired, but I was more like sleepy tired my first trimester than I am now in my third trimester, but it's just starting, so I don't know. But yeah, I was like exhausted. Like the amount of energy that it takes from your body to like create this little human being inside of you is like crazy, especially the first trimester. Like I don't know what it is that it takes so much of your energy. Like I don't know if that was just me, but I would literally get off work and take like a 2-hour nap, wake up for a little bit, like eat, you know, whatever, talk to my boyfriend, and knock out again. Like I was out every night, so I would sleep so good. And I would wake up still feeling tired, like could have slept 8 to 10 hours, didn't matter how much I slept. I was so tired. And the headaches were just like crazy. Another symptom that I had was salivation. So my mouth started getting really watery, probably like ties in with the nausea, but my mouth would get really watery. And what would really help me was like candy, but I found these specific candies. They were called, I'll have to insert a photo of them, but they're like these lemon ginger candies. And they really, really help with nausea. Like, I mean, obviously nothing's gonna fully take away that nausea, but these would help relieve it, especially if you work and you know you have to be around people and stuff and like get through the day. They really would help. I would pop like 3 or 4 of them in my purse a day because ginger is a really good thing like for nausea. Like I would get the ginger and greens smoothie from Jamba Juice. That was like a lifesaver for me too. I would have that like literally so many times a week. But too much ginger can be bad for the baby. Don't ask me why, I don't know. I just did research and it said that too much ginger could be bad for the baby. So to be careful, like don't overdo it with ginger. So I would try not to like overdo it with those candies. So I would take like 3 or 4 a day if I had to, like throughout like my 8-hour shift. Like I would, you know, separate it sometimes before I would fall asleep, sometimes like right when I woke up. And if I had that ginger smoothie from Jamba Juice, then I wouldn't really eat those candies, and that would like be my fix for a while. So anything ginger, highly recommend. Also just like snacking. I mean, that kind of goes for like the entire time you're pregnant. You have to keep in mind that you are eating for 2 people. It's not technically for 2 people, that's saying. You really should just be adding like 1 extra meal to your diet. It's not like full on like eating for 2 people because it's very little person. But yeah, so like what would help me was eating separate snacks or like smaller meals throughout the day, which I mean, if you're at home or like your job isn't like too like time consuming of you, then that's great. But like for me, that was kind of hard. I would go to the back and like snack as much as I could. And I would, in the beginning, like I would hella take snacks with me to work. Like I would take those little Welch's gummies. Those I loved because they were sweet. Like anything like sweet and like candy-ish like would help with that. And then I was doing a lot of smoothies in the beginning, yogurts. I was eating a lot of Activia yogurts because you do get constipated. So those were helping. I was drinking I've always drank a lot of water, but like ever since I got pregnant, like I drink an insane amount of water, which means you have to pee a lot more. So in the beginning, that's a symptom too, like you pee so much, like it's crazy how much you start to pee. And I like hated it in the beginning because, I mean, I still hate it, But in the beginning, it was so annoying because I would wake up like 2 or 3 or 5 times a night just to pee. And I'd be like, I don't know if you guys have seen that meme where it's like Baby Yoda and he's like sitting on the toilet with his eyes closed, and they're like me trying to like pee in the middle of the night without fully waking up. That was me like 3 times a night, like trying to like pee and not fully wake up. Like I would pee with the light off so that I wouldn't fully wake up, and it would be kind of hard for me to fall back asleep. But yeah, I would wake up so frequently. That kind of way went away in the second trimester. Like I wasn't peeing as much. I was still waking up like once or twice a night. Sometimes I'd be able to just sleep through the night, and then I'd wake up like really having to pee early in the morning. And now it's kind of to the point where the baby's getting heavier. So the pressure on my bladder, like any little amount of pee in my bladder, I feel it and I have to pee. So I pee a lot more frequently now. And it's any little amount that makes me go, like, it's so annoying. But anyway, so yeah, peeing frequently is one thing. There's also like round ligament pain, which is just like your belly area, because it's growing. You start to get like growing pains, which that's really painful too. I mean, your hips are literally opening up, preparing for birth, preparing to carry a baby. Your back hurts. I mean, if you are smaller chested, your back probably doesn't hurt as much because you're not carrying as much weight. But when you're large chested and you're carrying a baby and all that, like I would assume worse. My back hurts so bad, especially my lower back. In the beginning, it was more like the top of my back. Now it's like my lower back also. But yeah, your back hurts a lot. Pregnancy brain, that's another symptom. I would say that probably started more around my second trimester. Like, I'm usually a pretty spaced person. Like, I can go into a room and forget what I went into the room for, or like I can be talking about something and I'll be like, what were we talking about? Like, I'm kind of naturally like that, and it's like times 10 worse, like way worse. I feel so bad for like my coworkers and my boyfriend. Like, my pregnancy brain has been terrible. But it really started getting bad in my second trimester. And the reason behind pregnancy brain, actually, I read, was that you just have so much hormones like surging through your body that like it just literally messes with your head and your memory and all that. Basically everything is to blame on your hormones though, like everything. Being emotional is another one. Being freaking what's the word I'm looking for? Bipolar. Definitely. Like, you can go from like being like super happy, like overwhelmingly happy, to like so sad, or like so mad. And then another pregnancy symptom that I've had is pregnancy anxiety. So this is like a real thing. Like, you really get pregnancy anxiety. I read an article. I read a lot because I have a pregnancy app that updates me. And this app is called Pregnancy Plus. If you're pregnant or you get pregnant later, get this app, Pregnancy Plus. It's pregnancy with like a little plus sign. And it's the most accurate. I don't know. I've never tried any other app or whatever, but it's so accurate to me. Like, it updates every week. Actually, it updates kind of daily, maybe every 2 days, but it goes by your weeks, like how many weeks you're pregnant, and every single symptom that is listed in that app, you're like, holy shit. Like, yes, this is so accurate. Like, everything about it, you can totally like connect to. Maybe it's in my head, maybe not, but it's a really good app. And like, it shows the size of the baby, and like fun facts and stuff like that. And like even info for your partner, which I always make my boyfriend read that. So yeah, I forgot. But yeah, so those are like the main symptoms that I had within the first and second trimester. I definitely had food aversions. I didn't necessarily have cravings, but I had aversions, meaning like I was like, no way will I eat that. Like food that I could normally eat, I couldn't. Like red meat. Now red meat is fine to me. I don't really have a problem with it anymore. I've never been a big fan of red meat, but my first and second trimester, mostly my first trimester, like red meat was just like, no. Like if I made spaghetti or like pasta for my boyfriend and I, he's like a carnivore, so he loves red meat. He could eat burgers, tacos, pizza, like pasta with ground beef in it, like every day. Like he just loves that. And I couldn't do it. So like one night I made his tacos, that grossed me out. I had to stop using pork bacon, which is probably a healthier choice anyway, that I cut it out. I started using turkey bacon. That was a better alternative. There was even a point where I just couldn't eat any kind of bacon at all. But one night I was making pasta and I literally picked out all the ground beef of it because I could not eat it. Like he would always want to eat burgers and I'm like, I can't, sorry, like I just can't. Like my main go-to has been Chick-fil-A because it's chicken first of all. And chicken's like the main thing. Unfortunately, fish is another thing that I love to eat, which you're not supposed to eat. Like you can't overdo it. Like you can't eat raw fish, obviously. So if I got sushi, I would get like tempura sushi where it's like cooked and then, or fried actually. And then salmon, I really haven't been able to eat while I've been pregnant. You're not really supposed to eat tuna. Yeah. It was hard. Like figuring out what I wanted to eat in the beginning was really hard because I was being so picky and I was more so just eating like crackers. Crackers was a big go-to. Those Club One, I think they're called Club One crackers. They're like in a green box and they're kind of like buttery. Those are so good. And then just like chips, salty stuff, like, oh, I ate so much noodles, like the Maruchan noodles or like top ramen noodles. I ate those so much. I ate a lot of lemon in the beginning. Like I would crave lemon. Like I'd be like, I just want a lime or a lemon right now. Which normally I'm like that, but it was like bad in the beginning where I was like, really, I shouldn't be doing this because it's bad for your teeth and it's bad for the baby's teeth. So I stopped doing that. But I went on like a little like 2-week binge there, just eating lime and lemon all the time. But I didn't really have that many cravings. I mean, I guess if I had to say, like now I do have a bigger sweet tooth more than I did before because I'm always like a sweet and salty person. But now I have a bigger sweet tooth. And yeah, that's pretty much it for like food and like cravings and aversions and stuff like that. Coffee, it sucks that you really have to cut down coffee, but I mean it really is so much of a healthier choice because you already like naturally you get more anxiety, you feel more anxious while you're pregnant, and then also in the beginning it would make me kind of nauseous, like I don't know, for me at least, but now like I don't even finish a coffee, like a little coffee, like I cut down to like a almost decaf coffee. It's like a really light caffeine coffee. And I don't even finish that sometimes. So yeah. And if I do, I'm like forcing myself in the morning to just finish it because I'm so tired. But something else that's like really hard is, which maybe I'll do like a whole other separate video on that, but like working full time and being pregnant is hard. Like women do it all the time, been doing it for centuries, I'm sure, but like kudos, we deserve kudos and kudos to women that do it because that shit is hard. Like, I watch a lot of YouTubers that are like pregnant and stuff ever since I got pregnant. That's like all I watch. And a lot of them are like, you know, stay-at-home moms or like they're just YouTubers and that's what they do. So they don't like, they have a job, but they don't like leave their house and have to deal with people every day and be on your feet for hours. So it's a lot easier. And they're like, oh, I don't know how people do it when they work. Like, yeah, it's so hard. Like I'm to the point where like, I'm like, I can't wait to not work anymore because it's so hard. Like I've worked retail for years and it's always been like a hard job just because it's very draining, and like you deal with people all day, especially like being a manager. It's hard, like there's more pressure, and it's very stressful, which is like probably not good for the baby. But I mean, I learned to manage, but it's freaking hard. I don't know. Some days I get home and I literally yesterday I cried after I got home from work because I was so exhausted and I was just so emotional. And like the holidays are pretty much over now, but yeah, working the holidays with retail and management is like even harder. So I'm glad the holidays are over now. I'm trying to work as long as I can. I mean, it's not anything that I can't do. It's just, it's hard and it takes a lot of like, of my energy and it stresses me out, but it's not anything I can't push through. But, yeah, basically I'm going to work until my doctor says I shouldn't work anymore, or something happens that they have to like, you know, tell me not to work anymore. But I'll keep working until 8-9 months if I have to. Like, I don't care. More money. And I'm trying to have as much time off as I can after. So I'd rather take time off after the baby rather than like start using time up before. So yeah, but I'll try to do like another video on like, you know, working full time and being pregnant, and just like other things. If you guys want like real details, like I could do a real detailed like bodily change video, because your body goes through so many changes when you're pregnant, like literally everything, every little thing, like it's crazy. It's really crazy. Like your nose is stuffy all the time. You wake up with the stuffy nose, like that gets affected. There's a lot of different things that go into it. So I could always talk about that a little bit more. If you guys have any questions, just leave them down below and I'll answer them. That feels so weird to say that, but yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. And I'll also do, oh, I forgot to mention that my nausea did go away in the second trimester by like, probably, I would say like 12 weeks pregnant. Maybe a little bit after that, maybe like 14, 15 weeks actually, I finally did not feel nauseous anymore. Like, and now I really only feel nauseous like a normal person. If you don't eat for a while, you get nauseous, that's normal. But for me, it's a lot more severe and a lot sooner because I'm starving, literally, and like my baby's hungry. And I can feel it, like when we've been so busy at work lately, like I've worked through my lunch and taken a late lunch, or like just had to wait a long time to eat. And I can feel him. I don't know if it's in my head or what, but I can like feel him hungry, and then I'm starving. And now that he kicks a lot, like, oh God, he does, I've noticed he'll kick a lot when like I haven't ate, or he'll kick a lot when I do eat, because he like likes it, I guess. And then he just kicks a lot throughout the day now, and it's like I'll be at work like in the middle of talking to a customer, and my bladder will be full and I'll feel a kick and I'm like, ugh, because like when they kick and you have to pee, like it hurts. I felt the first kick like in my second trimester. Well, actually, I started feeling like flutters in my, like, I would say I started feeling flutters at like 10, 11 weeks. And then by like 15, 16 weeks, I felt more like, you know, not kicks, but like a little bit closer to what I thought would be a kick. And then probably like in my 20 weeks and on, I've been able to feel like kicks. And now they're like full on like jabs and like punches and like really hard kicks. And my boyfriend finally can feel them. He's only felt it a few times because this kid is stubborn. He will only kick when he wants to kick. You could poke at him, move him, and he just won't budge. He's gonna kick when he wants to kick on his own timing. And as soon as someone else puts their hand, he wants to stop. So that's been exciting. The kicking is like, so the first time was so exciting. Now it's kind of just like, stop it already. Like, I'll be like, dude, stop. Like, I'll get so mad. And then I also had like 4D ultrasound, 3D ultrasound, and he looks so much like his dad. It's so cute. I like how I was already ending this video and then I started talking about other stuff. But yeah, just leave any questions you guys have down below because I'm sure I forgot stuff. And I'll talk to you guys later.